a shit ton of IPAs in the fridge. I might switch to here in a minute.
Oh man, I don't know if we've had you on IPAs on the program yet. Could
Some
be a
people-
whole different kind of trash can. Could be
I'm gonna
plastic
switch to
lid.
those,
Could
yeah.
be
Some people left them
1970s
here
tin.
on my raging party I had this week on Friday.
That's great. That's good. Thanks for inviting us.
I did.
He invited me. I didn't go. I fell asleep.
Good for you.
Thanks.
It's a late night.
Late night.
That sounds right. You want to go to some raging party with a bunch of 30-year-old assholes drinking IPAs or fall asleep at 9:30?
Fall asleep at 9:30.
I'll fall asleep at 9:30.
Yeah.
It was nice.
Yeah, I turned into a shit show later on in the night. It got out of hand. I had to throw some people out.
How many guns and knives, bro?
It's funny you should say that.
Never mind, Bill. Let's not say anything.
At least 2 guns.
We don't need
We're
to
gonna
bring the
bleep it out.
authorities into this. We don't need to bring.
All this will be bleeped.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. Because
Okay, good. And welcome to the Simple Mind Sports Show, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and get in. Okay, here we go. Welcome to the Simple Mind Sports Show, ladies and gentlemen. This is Monday headlines for June 29th, I believe. I do have a calendar right here. We've said that I've been fucking up dates, but the calendar is literally half a foot from my face. So I don't know.
You didn't have your glasses on, though.
That's true.
why.
That's true. That's a good
Now
point.
you do.
David.
So now you're fucking golden.
Maybe
Simple
you've gotten a
minds.
little bit more observant now that your eyes have been open to the world of baseball, and it's very, very good to me, but very, very hard.
Yeah, very hard. Very, very hard.
Oh, he was so confident, even when standing there swinging. I got this. I got this shit.
I had a few Trulies, too, before going.
Well, that was probably
Didn't help.
That was probably your first mistake.
Yeah.
Hand-eye coordination and alcohol
Come on.
generally don't go well together.
I was
They
nervous.
generally go the other way.
I was
Can
very
just
nervous.
ask you a question, Ray? Why did you go in the left-handed batter's box to take a hit by a pitch?
Because I was trying to get the strength. I'm like, oh, fuck, this is going to
Yeah,
hurt.
but you know, you stayed in front of home plate for an awfully long time. Like, you could have got hit before you even got hit. Like, you could have took a gut shot.
No,
Before
I
you
think the
had to
back
take
would have been better. Too much fat.
No,
that
but
would have
what
stung.
I'm saying was you were standing in front of home plate.
Yeah, his timing was a little bit off. The gut shot risk is way too risky to getting shot
Oh,
in the
yeah.
dick. I mean,
Oh, for sure.
Those balls were low, too. Those
you
were
never
low.
know
Yeah.
you never know where that's going to come in. All right, boys, look, that was fun. Anybody who hasn't seen it, go check out our Facebook page. Ray Strikes Out.
Are you putting that on YouTube?
Ray
too,
Strikes
now,
Out
Rich?
video. Yeah, we'll put it everywhere. God,
Good.
we'll put it everywhere for the end of time. So don't worry, listeners. It's out there. Just go do a quick search. But let's go ahead and get into headlines here. So the NHL Draft Lottery was announced and then seemingly immediately took place on Friday.
Yeah.
Which I don't know. Did anyone watch? I didn't. I kind of went over my head. But anyway, the biggest takeaway from here essentially is what the fuck is going on. The NHL is the most convoluted freaking professional sports league that we have. I don't know if they're genius or if they're that moronic. I lean towards moronic because it's still not a popular enough sport to say that they're genius, but they change their shit constantly. So they had, obviously with COVID-19, everyone's getting a little bit of leeway. So they changed their shit up a little bit for the draft lottery this year, and are having 3 phases of the lottery. We can get into the minutia. It took me 3 days of reading about this to kind of understand it, and I'm struggling to try and explain it. But Bill, maybe you can help me out. So let me give it a shot. So
if you can't figure it out, I sure as shit can. All I know is Detroit won 17 fucking games, and it's a travesty they didn't get the number one pick.
Yeah,
they didn't get the second pick.
They didn't even get second. They didn't even get third. They got fourth. They got screwed, which happens in lotteries. Honestly, that even doesn't even really bug me that much. Yes, like if you're that bad, you should probably get the first overall pick. But the way the NHL does this is fucking ridiculous, and they've changed it. I don't know, numerous times. So let me see if I can actually like try and get my notes together here. So basically, no, I can't. I don't know how to explain it. The teams that are not in the qualifying round went into a lottery to pick essentially who would get first, second, and third place. If first, second, and third were not picked, then they go into phase 2. What inevitably ended up happening was, out of those teams, nobody was picked for first. The LA Kings got second, Ottawa got third, and then the Red Wings were placed into fourth, and then in sequential order per your point percentage, the rest of those teams are now lined up. What will happen in phase 2 is the teams that are disqualified in the qualifying round, out of these 8 teams, they will go into phase 2 of the lottery. They all at that point have a 12.5% chance of getting the number 1 overall pick. And the only thing the lottery is doing, to my understanding, is determining who gets the number 1 overall pick. That team gets number 1, and then the rest of them just fall into line up until the 15th pick. And those are essentially the teams that have not made the playoffs, and then the rest of the teams will fall in sequential order and how they finish out the playoffs. I'm not sure I explained that fucking correctly or not. That's the whole point.
My head's still spinning from you
I have it too.
Are you stupid or something? I'm as stupid as stupid does.
But yeah, go ahead. I've been talking out my ass for.
Are you reading the NHL one? The article.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, I had the actual. Yeah, go ahead.
So after pick 8, Buffalo's got the 8th. It's picks 4 through 8 were determined based on inverse order of regular season point percentage. Okay. Picks 9 through 15 will be assigned to the other teams that lose the 8 qualifying series in inverse order of their points percentage. So, I mean, I don't understand. My point, God damn it, I don't understand why you change it again. You just change it to do a lottery of the top 3 teams.
Right.
I get it. COVID really fucked a lot of things up. And I've made this point before. Roughly 69 to 70 games is enough for a full season. Give the team with the losing records, give the top 3 teams that they didn't even sniff the playoffs anyways. And regardless of if they finished out the 11, 12 games that were left, they weren't going to make the fucking playoffs anyways. So the top 3 points teams were basically almost decided already. Give those teams a lottery. Stop fucking changing things. Baseball, the only thing they did was shorten the draft. They didn't fuck around with any. I get it. They don't have a lottery, but they didn't change anything. NFL didn't change anything with theirs, and NBA is not changing anything with theirs. So why is the NHL different?
Because they have to be convoluted. They've been convoluted their entire existence. Their playoff seedings is convoluted. The draft lottery is convoluted. Just the fact that the history of it. Here's some trivia for you, people. The first ever NHL draft was 1963. First public draft, 1980. First draft lottery, 1995. It was basically a lottery to get the number 1 overall pick until 2013, I believe. And then 2013 through 15, they had some kind of fucking process. From 2015 to now has basically, like Bill said, been slotting the top 3 teams. And then everyone else kind of falls in line from there in a confusing fashion. So this year, I understand why they did it. I understand the reasoning. Well, I understand it. I don't agree with it. What they said was, we want to give these teams that are not going to get a chance to come back into the limelight, into the media, a chance to get a little bit of publicity and have this draft lottery in a time that is not full of sports and other things going on, which, yeah, from July till October, if the NHL had a draft lottery, no, it's not even gonna come up. So I get that a little bit, but do you need to make it this confusing? Does the whole lottery have to be that confusing to begin with? Why don't you just NBA lottery style? 4 teams that don't make the playoffs, you get sequential fucking percentages to get number 1 overall pick, and it generally works itself out. Why is that? Why is that so crazy? Right?
Because they're stupid.
The best quote that I saw was from Bill Daley, the deputy commissioner, who said, "We thought the draft lottery was a way to create excitement, create a way for these teams to engage with their fan base, to get some certainty early on and not giving into a long slumber of creating buzz over the summertime." Basically, Detroit just got fucked. So, yeah, they're going to have a lot of buzz going on in Detroit right now.
Steve Yzerman came out and said that he didn't expect to get the number 1 pick anyways. But
You
again,
won 17 games, like you said, Bill. I mean, why wouldn't you expect to get the number 1 pick?
honestly, the number might be lower, but it's roughly around 17 games.
No, you're right. It's 17 games. They only won 17 games and 39 points. That's all they won.
Yeah,
That's bad.
I think they made
That's bad.
So I, if I'm not mistaken, they made the lottery because of Edmonton got like
Back-to-back years. Where
no,
keep getting...
3 out of it was either 3 out of 4 or 2 out of 3 years they got the number 1 pick, and the year they missed was like the 2nd pick or the 2nd or 3rd pick. And I'm not sure if that was the exact reason, but that like when Chiarelli took over or right before he took over, they were awful, and they were getting number 1 pick after number 1 pick after number 1 pick because they were so bad. And I think the league was like, okay, I get it, but the NBA isn't the NBA making changes to the lottery too? So
No,
Cleveland did it too.
Cleveland did it too.
No, I know, but
yeah.
is
And
it
they
that now
fucked
they
up
want
all of them except for Kyrie, who couldn't win by himself. He had to go get LeBron anyway. That franchise
But there
never
was
turned
talk
around.
they were talking the NBA lottery, but that's a different subject. But anyways,
Yeah, they are. They're talking because the NBA is always looking at changes. That's kind of my point. Is the NHL genius or just moronic? I lean towards moronic because it doesn't seem like they have a plan with these changes. Like this was a planned change in terms of getting publicity to look at us, look at the NHL, look at these franchises that are not going to make the playoffs. Let's get some buzz in their cities. That was a strategic move, but the strategy around it is too confusing for anybody to fucking follow. So it just is creating aggravation, and then you're going to tune out. Yeah. So yeah, the idea of changing shit up. I wish baseball would change shit up the way the NHL does. It would provide some excitement. Some confusion is good. You got to kind of relearn stuff within the sport, especially when it's revolved around the draft and doesn't really affect the game itself. You can kind of get excited about stuff like that. I mean, I guess I kind of get that. I'm playing devil's advocate on the NHL's point here. But overall, most people like me had to sit down and read it for 3 days and still can't explain it. Kind of understand it, but can't explain it. And now you're going to go into phase 2. And the bigger point, the bigger, outrage is a team like the Penguins or the Maple Leafs,
Or the
good
Canadiens.
teams in the NHL. The Canadiens would suck as Bruins fans because we hate the Canadiens. But the Penguins and the Maple Leafs are not teams that should have the number 1 overall pick. Why do these teams that are going to get disqualified have an equal chance at the number 1 pick at 12.5% when the teams that didn't make the playoffs? That does not seem to equate to me. Normally, those teams that are ranked 8 to 15 have a percentage as high of 6.5% and as low as 1%. So why are they getting 12.5%? I'm sure there's a reason. I just need someone to explain it to me because I don't get it. I haven't been able to find that out.
I don't get it either. But this is again, I've been bitching about this 24 team playoff they wanted to run. This is where I'm hammering home my point that we made in a Bruins podcast we did a few weeks ago. 70 games is enough to qualify a whole season, put 16 teams in, and leave it the exact way it was. Because the NBA is doing the exact same thing. They're adding a few extra teams, but you don't have to put 24 fucking teams in because now look what you're changing. Look, you're changing all this shit.
But
right?
my point, Bill, is they didn't have to change all this shit.
That's what
I don't
I'm saying.
understand that. I don't understand. Yes, they could have won in the playoffs, like you said, but you also can look at the other side and understand the revenue that the revenue they're going to get from an extra round that they lost or we're going to lose and the TV stuff.
But
so
that's what you're looking at. I'm not looking at that.
From a league standpoint, I can understand why they're doing that. But the league also made this decision, which is batshit bananas. Why does a team that had a chance to make it to the Stanley Cup technically get a 12.5% chance then to get a number 1 overall pick? Why do they have the same chance? Why can't you take those 8 teams that are going to be disqualified and give them and base it on their regular season point percentage? Like you said, Bill, it's been long enough. If they give them a chance to make the playoffs because the season got fucked up. If they don't, put them all into their point percentage and see where they land. If the Penguins get bounced by the Canadians, they should be the 15th fucking pick in the draft. Come on. That doesn't make any sense.
I'm going to tell you why. If there's any of the if there's a major sport that was afraid of losing fans more than the NHL, they wouldn't be making these changes. They're making these changes to appease, like you said, these fan bases, because they're afraid that every time they have a work stoppage or any of this, they come back with less fans. Hockey's still number 4 out of the 4 major sports. Baseball's not afraid of losing fans. Football's not. NBA's
How does
not,
this save fans?
because it makes more teams engaged. If you look at the markets and you look at the amount of teams that are in now, it gives more viewership. This is what the NHL bases their shit on, viewerships. All
But
that, right?
you're talking about the qualifying round.
Yeah,
Well, yes,
it's
no.
bringing more people back.
Bill,
That's what I'm
I'm
saying.
okay with the qualifying round. I'm saying that whoever loses that, okay?
No, I get that, but I'm just saying.
So
that's
the
why,
Canadians lose. Let's say the Hurricanes lose, who are number 6. The Panthers lose, and the Maple Leafs lose in an 8-9 matchup. In that scenario, the Maple Leafs are going to have the same percentage as the Canadians, 8 seed and a 12 seed. Canadians had no chance of making the playoffs.
it
Maple
appeases the
Leafs,
fans,
Maple
Rich.
Leafs had a chance at making the fucking Stanley Cup if things broke right. And I know that's a reach, but I don't understand how that appeases the fans. Maple Leafs, you have a chance to make it in the playoffs. You didn't. You had a good season. So that's this to me. This qualifying round is an extension of the regular season. That's the way I look at it. You got these bubble teams that had that potentially had a chance to make the playoffs, and then you had to bring on a couple extra teams, 4 or so extra teams, basically as a fucking money move. I get that, and to bring in markets like the New York Rangers, the Montreal Canadiens.
Big hockey market.
Those are the big hockey
market.
markets to get some money in. I
Toronto,
don't fucking blame.
big market.
I don't blame the NHL for doing that. I just don't get why you fuck up your whole draft lottery because of it. That doesn't make any sense to me. That's an NHL convoluted thing. 12.5% chance of getting the number 1 overall pick for the Maple Leafs or for the Penguins and the Canadians, who are the worst team in that group, does not make any sense. Why are there not staggering percentages? That doesn't make any sense to me. I don't get it.
The thing you're not talking about either is that this lottery, this kid, Alexis Lafreniere, left winger, he's a game changer. They're saying he's like Sidney Crosby.
No, he is. He's an absolute
not
game
lying.
changer. He's an absolute game changer.
So this gonna change your franchise. If you can land this kid, it's gonna change your whole franchise.
You
Top
put him.
five
You
is
put him
low.
next
The
to
top
fucking
5
Sidney
picks are
Crosby.
low.
You put him next to. Jesus, it has the biggest brain fart. The kid in fucking Toronto. Help me, Bill.
Austin Matthews.
Thank you, and
Tavares. And Mitch Marner.
like
That
you
team's
get
loaded.
that kid when you're on the cusp of breaking out in as a young team as the Toronto Maple Leafs, and then you got the fucking Red Wings, who just got the 4th pick, who barely even touched the ice. It felt like this year. I mean,
Dude,
come on, NHL, come on, figure your shit out.
you know what it's like? Get the Bruins in 11 getting Sagan. Because they were on the Cups. They just blew that 3-0 lead to Philly the year before. They were on the Cups. They were making moves, and then you get handed the number.
I think the
2
word
pick.
is cusp. Are you saying cups?
I heard
You
cups.
That's what I said.
Are you saying
Cups.
cups?
I
I
heard
don't
cups.
know.
How
Run
are
it
you
back.
on the cups? What
Whatever.
is on the cups, man?
Did you read this kid's stats though? Like his resume?
Dude,
Give it to us, hockey guy Ray.
Yeah,
Give
hockey
it to
guy
us.
Ray. Can I relinquish my hockey guy title?
No,
'Cause Ray,
I just
Ray is just dude.
all right.
Ray's coming with the fucking hot fire right now.
God
Well,
damn.
here's the thing, listeners. He was real jazzed up this morning because he was thinking he was going 10 for 10 in the 85-mile-an-hour box, and he was doing some studying. He was looking up his NHL prospects. He was chirping
Hey.
Bill, and then he took one to the spinal cord, and he feels like he needs to get a little redemption. So that's
Yeah.
fine. Yeah, tell us
Yeah.
about this left wing Canadian, eh?
All right. He led the QMJHL in assists.
What's that
and
stand
points.
for, Ray? What's that stand for? Never
It's
mind.
the Junior Hockey League, anyways.
All right, very well.
What's the Q stand for? The Quebec Junior Hockey League?
Yep.
Okay, just checking.
He was the MVP and best forward of the 2020 World Juniors, where he helped Canada win. MVP of 2018-19, 19-20 season, the first back-to-back winner since Sidney Crosby.
Hey, can I ask you a question? real quick?
And nope, I'm not done. And he'll be the first Quebec skater drafted first overall since Vincent Lecavalier in 1998.
Who took Vincent Lecavalier in 98?
Tampa.
Where was the junior finals this year? Czech Republic.
Czech Republic. See, you just didn't let me answer.
We got a competition for hockey guys, people. Bill's holding on to the crown, but Ray's coming on strong.
I don't want this crown.
Ray's coming on strong. Fucking hockey guys. All right, yeah. So anyway, sorry that I felt like that went a little long. Like literally, that was just our that was our brains working in real live time, trying to figure out what the hell the NHL is trying to do with this draft lottery.
Our special education minds never get it.
No, this podcast is called the Simple Minds Sports Show for a reason, people, and that just taxed us. We might need to take a break, but we don't have any sponsors. If you know anybody that would like to sponsor on our show, Corona Seltzers. We'll go right to the top with Corona Seltzers. That'd be fine. The last thing on the NHL I want to touch on a little bit because it made me laugh. Amazon has the naming rights for the new Seattle franchise that is coming up. And they released the name of their stadium this week, and it's a doozy. It's a little bit of a tongue tie, a little bit of tongue twister there. The Climate Pledge Arena. The Climate Pledge Arena in Seattle. Now, look, I don't mean to laugh. I do think climate change should be addressed and looked at. It's certainly a problem in the world, and it's an issue. I get it, but you're gonna name a fucking hockey arena the Climate Pledge?
Have you heard of the Seattle names that they've come up with?
Oh yeah.
Why don't you give them? I have a couple. I would like to throw in. I'd like to throw into the ring, but give it the one.
Okay,
Bill.
We got the Renegades.
Okay.
The Sockeyes.
The Renegades could work now.
The what?
Sockeyes is a fish.
It's a fish. The Renegades could work, seeing as their city is basically under militia control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. The Sea Lions, the Seals, the Evergreens, the Whales, the Cougars, the Eagles, and the Firebirds. Oh, and the Totems, the Emeralds, and the Rainiers.
Mount Rainier is the Mount.
What about the Kraken? Wasn't the Kraken?
I think was in there too.
The Kraken, yeah, but I think that got eliminated. I'm not sure, but either way,
the Seals.
Come up with a better name.
It's better than the Pelicans.
True.
Okay.
Anything's better than the Pelicans.
What's a bigger pussy team? What would you fear the more coming into your home arena? The Sea Lions, Seals, or the Pelicans?
Sea Lions, you got the word line in there. Let me give you a couple options. See if it works. For the Climate Pledge Arena, team name could be reusable diapers, #No Straws, Seattle Save the Whales, Seattle Organic Apples. Seattle No Straws has a little bit of a ring to me.
You forgot one of the major one. Seattle Save the Turtles, not the Whales. It's
Sorry,
Save
the Whales
turtles.
have been saved. The Turtles need to.
Turtles.
They need their day in the sun.
Yeah.
Didn't the guy from Amazon buy the arena too? So there's no way this name change is going to go anywhere.
Jeff Bezos, right? Was that him?
Yeah. I think he bought the arena.
No,
I don't know if he has the arena. I know he has the naming rights.
Jerry Bruckheimer owns the arena. Those guys built that. Just the guys that own the Seattle built the arena.
I don't know. All I know is the naming rights say the Climate Pledge Arena. And
terrible. Worst name ever.
They think it's going to bring awareness, and it's just the butt of a fucking joke anytime anyone has to go there.
What NBA team's going to move to Seattle now? And what?
Yeah, Amazon partner build Climate Pledge Arena. See? Fuck you, Bill. You're no longer the hockey guy. You're out.
Oh, good. I can't wait to talk hockey playoffs with you later. You better fucking prepare. Because I won't prepare.
We know. What's that from different?
We know, Rain Man. Zero knowledge, and you will not have one.
We get it, Rain Man. You don't write fucking anything down, and it just comes off the top of your gray head. That's all the knowledge in the world.
Ray's just jealous because he listened back to the Boston Bruins podcast and heard himself say 3 words. So he's like, I can't do this.
That was a bad show. That was a bad show.
I thought it was 2 words. Go Bees.
Go Bees.
All right, guys.
Never mind.
That's the NHL.
That was a
headline. The fucking climate.
What a world.
What a world we live in. Whatever. Good for them. Yeah. Climate change. Make a difference, people. Stop using straws. UFC Fight Night. This is again Billy Trashcan's department, but we all watched. I mean, ESPN fights are great. I think it's great for the sport. Obviously, especially right now when there's literally no sports on. I'd be interested to see what their viewership was last night compared to some of their other fights, even their pay-per-views. But widely being called potential fight of the year. Dustin Poirier is the French pronunciation, right? Defeats Dan Hooker in an absolute bloody friggin' beatdown.
Oh, yeah.
Billy Trashcan, bad words. Give us the lowdown on last night in the UFC.
Great fight. I mean, the main fight, I was busy, so I just checked the last fight, the Poirier-Hooker fight. But
we're going to bleep this out, Bill, but don't
Okay,
just fucking
Bill, we
come
did
out
this the
there and
last
say
time, too.
Just fucking fake it, man. Like,
let me fake it. I'll fake
I don't even like hockey. I fake it.
Me neither. You wouldn't even believe I didn't like hockey.
You look like you
That
did
was a
today.
joke. I love hockey, but you're our UFC guy. Don't go outright just telling people you don't watch the fights.
I do watch the fights. I caught the main event.
Also, anyone who listens long enough knows you don't work nor have a life. So what are they going to think when you say I was busy? What do you think they're going to – what's this guy doing?
I was a bit. Anyway, Hooker, Poirier, huge fight.
Hold on. We got to start it over now. We're going to – never mind. Fuck it. We'll
Start
just
it
bleep
over,
the whole
start
thing. It'll just be a long minute and a half bleep.
No,
Hell,
but
hold on. Let's start this.
All right.
Our big fight guy watches every fight. Is a damn near a fucking professional expertise in the UFC world of MMA. Billy Trashcan Bad Words. Give us your lowdown on last night's fight night.
Poirier, Hooker, lightweight division, huge fight. Went the distance, beat the shit out of each other for 5 straight rounds. I thought at one point Poirier may have stopped. He had a huge gash under his left eye. It was really, really bleeding. The end of the third round, I believe, was a couple big elbows or a knee in the face. Knee in the face that really, I think, Hooker, I'm surprised he stood up there. But as far as fight of the year goes, that's up there. I think that's been the best fight we've had so far, especially some of the main event cards that happened this year. A lot of boring fights. John Jones' fight was pretty boring. Stylebender versus Romero was the worst fight I've ever seen, and those were another headline. But to get a free fight like a Hooker Poirier, I mean, those guys are ranked 3 and 6 in the division, or 3 and 5 in the division. So to get that as for a free fight on ESPN, that's where you're going to do it. I mean, as far as Poirier goes, I don't know where it's going to set him up.
So hold on to that, Ray. I know you dove into a little bit too. Did you have any kind of big takeaways as a novice fight guy getting into it here?
You're talking just about that fight or the whole card in general?
Yeah. Dip into whatever you took away
the
from
one
it.
that took out for me was the Maurice Green Gian Vellante fight. Basically, Maurice Green came out after the fight. Well, it looked like he got knocked out, but then he somehow got an arm triangle on this guy and choked him out. Like he looked like he was done. Choked this fucking guy out. Then after the fight, pretty much said like his whole career was on the line on this fight. If he lost, you think he was going to be gone from the UFC. He thought, he just wants to make his life better for his family and shit. He wants to buy a house in New Mexico and all this shit. And I was just like, holy shit. I didn't realize these guys had like this kind of stuff on the line on these fights. So it was pretty impressive.
Yeah, you got to imagine. Hold on, Bill. You got to imagine that, as you have mentioned before, Bill. These guys don't get really paid a whole ton of, especially these low cards don't get paid basically shit, right? So, and it's not like you can do this kind of thing on the side and part time. You have to train your ass off and dedicate yourself. So, yeah, this Maurice Green guy, really easy story to root for, especially in a sport like this where you can actually literally see them putting their bodies on the line every time they go out there and compete. It's something that as someone who hasn't been totally invested, those are the type of things that kind of draw me in. Yeah. You can get attached to those type of stories.
Root for that guy now,
Yeah, and as far as Green go, he came in at 8-5, and I think he was on a 2-fight losing streak too. So if you want to talk about like pressure, I mean, at some point you're in a contract, but UFC can rip that right up.
Yeah, right.
If you're not performing, you're not drawing. So, of course, that gives him another fight. He's not going to be a main event. Well, he'll get on a card for sure, but he'll never be a main event guy. But he'll
get on the card and make money.
Get on the card.
Yeah.
But like one of my biggest takeaways, Mike Perry came out with no training staff, no trainers, no nothing. It was a cut man and his wife or girlfriend.
Right. Yeah, he made headlines there earlier in the week, and because of COVID, they were limiting the people you could have in your corner, right?
They do, but you usually get more than that. He had 2 people, and one was his girlfriend.
What does that say? What does that say about his trainers? Does that say more about his trainers, or more about, or did he, is he trying to make up? Did he Kobe the situation?
I don't think so. I mean, he's a
Is
co-main
that his
event.
diamond ring?
I mean, he could be.
I don't know the fucking
Mike
guy
Perry's he's a good fighter. I mean, he's 13-6 entering. He won submission, but all his girlfriend did was put a bag of ice on his shoulder.
I'm just saying.
I could
I'm just saying.
use that right now on my back, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I don't know the guy at all. I don't want to talk ill about him. He might be the nicest guy in the world. But, you know, when you walk into a fight and normally you got a training staff behind you and all you have is your girl that's going to be on TV, on national TV. I don't know. Maybe that's a makeup move. We don't know.
It could be, but I'll tell you, though, total strikes 103-59. Significant strikes 76-55. So without a training staff,
maybe she's the best trainer he has. Maybe she's the best trainer.
Isn't the corner guys like the most important thing too? Because they're telling you like what
your
to go
strategy.
for. And
it's your strategy.
Yeah.
So
that's big. Not having anyone in your corner and just going free for all for it.
Don't worry, baby. Don't worry. You got this. You got this, sweetie. I still
Motherfucker, you don't win, you're out the house, bitch.
Have you seen her too?
You win or lose. I'm sucking it.
Smoke show.
All right, last thing on this, Bill. Where do you think Poirier goes from this? So a little bit of history. He did last year. He lost the interim belt again with these even boxing, MMA, all the belts is way too hard to fucking pay attention to. I get it's kind of a money grabbing shit, but hold on.
Belts.
So he lost his interim belt to Khabib. That's how you pronounce it, right? Who is widely considered one of the widely considered a excellent fighter. Bill, you're making a face.
He's thinking.
Ray is just fucking.
I don't like Khabib. I'm a McGregor guy. I like McGregor.
Civil minds, baby. Civil minds. Look, Khabib is undeniably a great fighter, and to lose to him is no small thing. So the fact that Poirier lost the title, comes back with a big win last night. There's some talk that he has a little bit of momentum and a possible career path. Real quick, 30 seconds, Bill, something to look for either with Poirier or with the UFC coming up.
I mean, he could get Justin Gaethje fight, who's the interim champion right now. Tony Ferguson just fought him. He lost that fight. But if Khabib's healthy, he's going to get – or his dad's sick. He got COVID. He's dying or something.
He strained himself in Russia or something, didn't he?
Yeah.
That's where he's from.
But
he's in the
Poirier might get
Siberia, just rocking,
if Khabib does, if
lifting
Khabib
rocks, punching cows,
chopping wood,
burning his fucking skin off and shit. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I would never want to fight Khabib, but I would also never call him a douchebag on a recorded program. You're dead, Ray.
That's fine.
You're dead. Yeah. No, he's definitely Rocky IV. That's what he's doing right now.
Listen, I can't hit a baseball, but I can fucking punch someone in the face. Okay?
No, you can't.
I can't.
You're 5 foot nothing. We established this.
Hey. I'm tall. 5'9".
Yeah.
Anyways, next big fight, Fight Island, July 11th.
Fight Island,
you see that shit? You see the photos?
It's right on the beach. There's 3.
The photos leaked. It looked fucking sick.
Honestly,
that first leak, Dana White fucking tweeted it out, bro.
Whoa.
That's not a leak. He tweets everything out.
Look, words and definitions just kind of go through Ray's brain. They don't actually mean anything. The pictures came out via Dana White. But the first thing I got in that silhouette, it kind of looked like when you set up the cage for the trampoline with the kids so they don't fall off the side. Yep. Except you're just going to have grown men beating the shit out of each other in that fucking trampoline.
Yep.
But, you can get hurt on a trampoline. Snapped ankles, broken faces, you fall off the side. And maybe just as dangerous, maybe not as. But, yeah, Fight Island is going to be awesome. We'll do something to that. Maybe we'll do something live or something for –
Oh, yeah. I'm ordering the fight. So if you want to FaceTime it, I'll get you in.
So, wait. Hold on a second. So Bill can't buy that microphone off you, Rich, but he can order a pay-per-view?
I'm working next weekend, you dick. I'm working next week.
It's all right. I've already built that money.
I charge everybody that comes. I already charge everybody that comes through the door. I don't buy it myself.
Well, I'm media, so I'm not paying. So boom.
Yeah, we're gonna make ourselves tags. We're gonna laminate some tags with media on it.
That's fine.
Media doesn't pay, bitch.
That's right. All right. A couple quick things to get to, I guess, in the NBA. The NBA drama. First off, Spencer Dinwiddie. Is it Dinwiddie or Dinwiddie? I have been confused with this for
I always heard
good
it was
year.
I've heard both. I thought
I've heard both too from like major media people. I don't know what the fuck it is. I guess I could have looked it up, but I didn't. Spencer Dinwiddie Whittle has come out and said that the NBA has got the fix in for Zion, and I believe him, and I don't care. And
I don't care
shut
either.
the fuck up, Spencer Dinwiddie. Like, I don't care if they have to fix him for Zion because he's electric, and the NBA is all about stars. But a little bit of context and see what you guys think. So, Zion is the NBA's darling. He only played in 20 games this year, but there's legitimate talk throughout the NBA for giving him Rookie of the Year over John Morant, which is just
horseshit.
ridiculous. If
Terrible.
that happens, we might have to boycott. The other things that were brought up was the West got 6 teams, the East got 2. The schedule that came out this week, the Pelicans' schedule is relatively easy, I guess, depending on what you look at. They got the Jazz, Clippers, Grizzlies, Kings twice, Wizards with no Bertans or John Wall, obviously, Spurs who suck, Magic who are not that great. So comparatively speaking, they do kind of have an easy schedule. And the other thing, they were 4 games up, or the Grizzlies were 4 games up on the Pelicans. I've heard talks about the NBA that they were trying to say the remaining schedule, if they had played through without COVID interruption, the Pelicans probably would have passed the Grizzlies because the strength of schedule was so low and Grizzlies was so high.
What's this, the NCAA?
Well, I guess that's the point of the conspiracy theory of, the Pelicans were on the cusp and they kind of made that cut off, and the fucking Suns got in. So I don't know. If there is, who cares? It's the NBA. They make shit happen all the time. I wish the NHL would do it like the NBA does it in the draft. Like, you got a team that kind of needs some help. You got a team that might need a little push in the right direction. Could use a good player. You can kind of maybe squeeze this and push that to make it happen. I don't fucking care.
Like the NBA did it in 1985 with Patrick Ewing, 2003 LeBron James, 2005 Derrick Rose. Like, the NBA is notorious for this shit, bringing these cities that need their superstar and making it big. So
the NBA,
They're doing it with Zion.
fixing the draft. Yeah, there's rumors about fixing the draft lottery. What makes you think they won't fucking fix this?
Of course.
Zion's the next big thing that's coming in the league. You want to showcase his talent. You only showcased him for 20 fucking games this year because he was hurt. You want to get him
because he was fat.
Exactly. But either way, hurt, fat, whatever. Ray, you're both right now. How does it feel? Anyways. You want to showcase him at all costs.
Ray is the Zion of the Simple Mind Sports Show without any of the talent or charisma.
Oh, my God. That couldn't have worked out any better today. That we did
These layups you give Bill, Rich, is fucking bullshit, man. It's like a bounce pass, wide open layup for Bill.
I'm so glad it rained yesterday that we couldn't go to the batting cage.
Yeah, I don't even see him sometimes. He just grabs him and throws it down. He's a fucking freak athlete when it comes to being an asshole. Okay, yeah, so whatever. We're kind of up against it here. So the NBA is fixing it for Zion. I don't give a shit. The Pelicans aren't that good. They are exciting to watch. Lonzo Ball is a decent player. Ingram is a good young player. They'll be fun to watch. They're not going anywhere in the West. Who gives a shit? Shut up, Spencer Dinwiddie. So the next one I had was Kevin Durant says that he would probably not play if he wasn't hurt to join the list of his little shithead buddy Kyrie. And also, as I was looking up, John Wall said the same thing. How do you think people are going to take it when you're hurt? You've been hurt the whole season, basically, and you come out and say, no, I wouldn't go to Orlando if I was healthy? Bullshit. First of all, bullshit. Because no other big stars come out and said they're not going. The people that said they're not going are either guys that are injured or the Bertans on the Wizards. They're not going anywhere. He's up for a big contract. Trevor Ariza on the Blazers. They're not going anywhere. Trevor Ariza doesn't give a shit. He's an old veteran. He knows. And Avery Bradley is doing it for social justice reasons and whatever.
He's doing his kid. His kid's
sick. He can't bring his kid.
You're right. His kid has a precondition and shit. So legitimate reasons, either professionally or personally. And then you got assholes like John Wall, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving coming out saying, I wouldn't go. So you're like undermining the NBA, buying into Kyrie's bullshit coalition to undermine the Orlando bubble for the NBA as they are doing everything possible to push their sport forward, to get these guys paychecks, to provide to the fans, to do something so to get people back to normal, which is, I think, the only thing you can do in times like these. And these fucking cunts are out here talking and talking out of their ass. That's undisputable. I think you both feel that way. My question to you is Kyrie and KD, is that duo the best villains or the worst villains, however you want to put that, in sports today? I had a couple examples, but I'll let you guys come with your first response. Are they, because think
in
about
the NBA?
next,
Yeah.
sports.
Absolutely.
I think they can top it in sports. I mean, I kind of sprung that on you, so I'll give you a second, but I'll give you a couple. The Astros.
This wasn't in the email, so go ahead.
The Sedin brothers. I throw the Sedin brothers in there.
It wasn't
biggest
a fucking
villains.
email, Bill.
Not the
But
biggest villain.
Rain Man doesn't read the emails. He just goes off his own fucking haze.
But you also the best villains to root against in a long time. Whatever. Fuck off. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying.
Go ahead. Just make your
think
fucking
about the
point.
other sports. Think about the NBA. The other guy is LeBron because he's insufferable off the court. But I'll tell you what, Kyrie Irving is making me like and respect LeBron James. That's how bad he is. And Kevin Durant, I've never respected since he went to Golden State. I think he's a baby. He got in a fight with fucking CJ McCollum. Yeah, Barstool or BFT, BMT, baby back bitch, official baby back bitch. He got in a fight with Chris Broussard. Who gives fucking Chris Broussard? He's gone after people on Twitter, no-name teenagers that have called him not LeBron, basically.
And he has several burner accounts.
Several burner accounts.
Argues with himself.
Such a thin-skinned little
which
bitch.
Which one was his burner account? Which one was the actual burner account?
Nah, I don't know.
Because when he forgot to switch was gold. When he forgot to switch his account was
and then he
gold.
You know, he just can't he can't handle it. He cannot handle the stardom. And I think that whole team is doomed for failure, which is the perfect thing when you're a villain. Your expectations are high and you don't meet them. The Patriots are the only other example I could think of, but you just lost Tom Brady. So people don't look at you the same this year. Yeah. They look at you with lowered expectations. And then the Astros in baseball, everyone hates, but no one gives a shit about baseball, and they fucked up their entire season this year. That was going to be the greatest thing baseball had since 1998 was the Astros and their cheating scandal.
Every fucking
Have you seen
game.
the odds
And
of
they
the
lost
first
it.
Astro to get hit?
Yeah,
you guys want to put a collective bet on it? We're 25 days away from opening day.
Rich, I'll do 20. Bill, you have $20?
Yeah, I do. Right up over there. Let's make a bet.
He's got it stashed away next to one of his Glocks.
Can I go upstairs and take a picture? I swear it's so true.
Yeah, we know. It's wrapped around the fucking barrel. Take it, pussy. Take it, pussy.
I wish I was kidding for this, but I'm so not.
And you know what? We believe you, Bill.
Yeah, we absolutely believe you, and we'll bleep it out so the authorities do not take us down. I don't even know what I was talking about there, but I think, the idea of these fools talking out of their ass when they don't have any stakes is, no matter what you're talking about, whether it's sports, politics, talking about potato chips. If you have no stakes, your opinion doesn't matter. I don't give a shit. John Wall, you haven't played all year. KD, you haven't played all year. Kyrie, you're a piece of shit, and you haven't played all year. So why do I care about your opinion on whether you should go play in Orlando when you have no option of playing in Orlando? Shut up.
Kyrie played. He played this year.
Not in Boston.
That's all that matters to Rich.
They're just doing
pussy.
They're only saying it because they're hurt. They want to keep their names relevant.
No, they just want to make Kyrie happy.
If they were healthy,
that's all they're doing.
I think.
I can see KD doing it to try and get Kyrie's back in his coalition.
Yep.
And John
drinking
Wall.
Kyrie's Kool-Aid. That's all he's doing is drinking.
John
Kyrie's
Wall
Kool-Aid.
feels bad because no one ever talks about him as the best point guard in the league. So let me go suck Kyrie's dick.
In a corner somewhere.
I don't think all three of them can dock together.
Triple dock. Human centipede.
They'll find a way.
There we go. Human centipede that shit.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
All right.
John Wall, you're not
Can
the
I
best
ask you
point
a
guard in the
question
league
about that,
because you
though?
don't know how to shoot and you jump in the air to pass. You idiot.
Who's in the middle on the human centipede?
KD.
Out of John Wall, KD,
And Kyrie.
and Kyrie.
Who is in the middle?
KD, the biggest bitch. KD's the biggest bitch.
No, KD's coming out back.
I
KD's
want Kyrie. I want Kyrie in the middle because he gets it
I
up
can
the
see
ass
Kyrie.
and the mouth.
I think Kyrie would be the perfect one.
You didn't
Kyrie's
ask who
the
do you
middle.
want, Bill. You didn't ask who do you want. You said who is.
I think
Yes.
Kyrie because he's going to
What's
tell
the
them where to
difference,
go.
though? What's
He's
the
going to tell
difference,
them
though?
where to go, and he's going to want the most pleasure.
Because Kevin
So he's standing
Durant
in the middle.
is a baby back bitch, and the guy in the middle gets it the worst. Everyone knows that. And Kyrie is going to talk around in circles with some shit, and KD is going to.
Well, Kyrie's the smartest guy in the room, so
course.
I get it. He's going to be first.
And JD and John Wall is going to go. Well, I agree with Kyrie because nobody likes me.
2 out of 1, 2 to 1. So KD's. I like your reasoning there.
Yeah. Also, KD's really tall, so it elongates the whole thing.
Well, centipedes are really long, right?
Yeah, they
You
stretch.
need that 6'11" thing in the middle to get. To get us there.
Yeah. What are they? Call that the core? They call that the core. It's got a long way to go. All right. Thanks for tuning in to the Simple Mind Sports Show, ladies and gentlemen. This was Monday Headlines for June 29th. Stick around. Tune in on Wednesday. We'll be talking something. We'll be talking some shit. So other than that, thanks for listening.
Trouble.